The rising damp. Mr. Carroway prided himself on efficiency, rent collected on time, repairs deferred indefinitely. His tenants, he often muttered to himself, were brainless zombies, forever whining about leaks, damp patches, and mould creeping up the walls. How did they have the nerve to complain anyway? It's not like they even paid the rent themselves. The government did. The calls had grown more absurd of late. Complaints of coughing, fevers, brain fog. One woman swore the wallpaper was breathing. Another claimed the spores whispered her name. Carroway laughed, pocketed the rent, and ignored them. It was always cheaper to bribe an inspector than make repairs. He'd been doing it for decades. But his old connection at the council had retired, and the new woman in charge was threatening an inspection. He feigned concern and trudged to the property. The stairwell reeked of mildew, the plaster sagged with moisture, and the tenants, slow-witted, hollow-eyed, stood waiting. The building was unusually quiet that morning. Normally children would be shrieking in the stairwell, kicking balls against the walls, their noise echoing through the flats. The silence pressed in, heavy, unnatural. Carroway barely noticed. He was too busy sneering at the tenants' latest complaints. Carroway forced a smile, though inwardly he sneered. Brainless zombies, the lot of them, he thought. Out loud he said, "You need to leave your windows open more. Bit of fresh air. That'll sort the damp." The tenants stared back, hollow-eyed, their faces slack. "We have tried," one murmured, voice flat as stone. He sniffed, wrinkling his nose. "And that smell! It's not mould, it's all that spicy food you lot like to cook. Lingering aromas, that's all." Their reply was passionless. "It is not food, it is the flats." Carroway's irritation flared, but he kept it behind his teeth. Always whining, always blaming me, parasites. He adjusted his tie, eager to be gone, but the tenant shifted subtly, guiding him toward the stairwell. Their movements were slow, deliberate, yet impossible to resist. "Basement," one said. "You must see." He opened his mouth to protest, to dismiss them again, but their blank faces offered no room for argument. The air grew thicker, damp with spores. His shoes squelched against the carpet as they ushered him downward, step by step, into the waiting dark. "I don't see the point," he muttered, trying to keep his voice brisk, dismissive. "It's just a bit of moisture." The tenants did not answer. One raised a hand, slow as a puppet, and pointed downward. He descended, each step slick beneath his shoes. The air thickened, heavy with spores. The walls glistened, alive with a sheen that pulsed faintly, as if breathing. Hands pressed him forward, clammy and unyielding. His protest dissolved into damp silence. At the bottom, the damp was no longer a stain but a presence. It bulged from the brickwork, a black-green mass that quivered in anticipation. Tendrils reached out, wet and eager. The mould embraced him, seeped into his lungs, his eyes, his thoughts. He felt himself soften, his disdain melted into the damp. His last breath was swallowed, his body absorbed, his mind erased. Above, the tenants shuffled back to their flats, passionless, obedient. The damp was fed, for now.